Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to take you through GBPUSD using the Alchemist strategy. Well, on GBPUSD we are going to have a long-term sell that might take us 2 or 3 months selling GBPUSD. However, we are going to be using the Alchemist strategy. So that is what I'm going to be taking you through this whole video. If you're a fan of GBPUSD, yes, now is the time. You get ready and we start. So now we are starting from the monthly time frame. The monthly time frame, however, on the monthly time frame, we are just going to look at what is happening in the monthly time frame, and then we are going to proceed on the weekly, where we are going to start our storylines and the sale on GBPUSD. So what do we have on the monthly time frame? On the monthly time frame, the overall flow of the market was bearish, or it is bearish, the overall flow of the market. Why and how do we say it is bearish? If you look at the market, how it has been going, it has been forming lower lows and lower highs. I'm just trying to make it thin such that it can be visible. Yeah, it has been making lower lows and lower highs. So I'll get the trend line here, and then I draw from the top to the bottom. You see, if I put it here, it already crossed, but then we have another spot here which already crossed, but still we have another spot here. Good. So it shows that the market is going into a long downtrend. That is it. That is the first trend line. So the second one, you're going to start from here and put it there. That is the monthly time frame. So the third one, I'm going to start, I think, from here and put it here. Good. So the overall trend line shows that we are bearish. You see this big trend line here shows that we are bearish. Yes, we might have a bullish movement, but we are bearish according to the overall flow on the monthly time frame. So I'm just going to remove this trend line. Where is it? Come here, you. So remove that one, and then try to zoom in to the current price action. When you come to the current price action, the first trend line also shows we are bearish. I'm going to remove it. Yes, it has gone. So now we remain with only this trend line. This one shows that we are trying to cross it. The previous month crossed the trend line. However, it did not go far. It rejected. That we have a support here, a resistance on this shoulder here. This is a shoulder, this is a head, this is another shoulder. So we are having a support, a resistance on this shoulder, and if you can see very well, there is a previous high here and then an equal high, which is creating a double top. There is a high here which brought about this engulfing candle on the monthly time frame that brought this sell, which sold around 4 months, 1 2 3 4, and then there is another high here. There's another high here also, which is the previous month rejected. That means the second month we are looking at the price action here to see what is going on. But according to what we can see here, it is like a double top, because this top, this one here, did not overtake this one, did not sweep this top, just took the liquidity up and came down. And even this one is still retracing around that area. So we are not expecting price action to go above the previous top, which means we shall be selling. Why? Price is in a downtrend. That is one. Two, now we are looking for confluences to support our idea. Two, we are on the shoulder. We are on the shoulder of this head here. This is a head, shoulder, shoulder. This is another shoulder, and we have come back to the shoulder. That is two. Three, when you look at when you draw your Fibonacci from the swing high, this one, to the swing low, this one, you will see that this was just a retracement, and that is where the retracement ends. This is swing high to swing low. Where is it? The 6? Yeah, it is here. No, wait. Good. Swing high to swing low. You see, this is the area around 6.61.8, trying to end there. It's not exactly, but it is around that area, this area here. So Fibonacci kindly supports us to a tune of around 60%. Now, and that is the monthly time frame. Now what happens is we have a double top, and you know what happens with double tops in high time frames. You know what happens with double tops in high time frames. They always try to cause a reversal. Now this is a double top on a monthly time frame. Guys, if you do not sell this market, then you don't know which market you will ever sell. That is one. That is 3. So with all that, we can put in the line chart, and you see that we have reached this top, and price is trying to turn around. Have reached this top, and price is trying to turn around. This is a shoulder, this is a shoulder, this is a shoulder, this is a head, this is a small shoulder, this is a big shoulder, this is another shoulder, and this is a double top, monthly time frame, previous resistance. Guys, we are coming down. That is what the monthly is saying. So after knowing what the monthly is saying, we go now to the weekly to try and get how we can take advantage of this market. Why do we want to get how we can take advantage of this market? It is only one. I told you with Alchemist, we do not, on the monthly time frame, yes, we can use the sell line from the monthly time frame, but it will take ages. Why do I say it will take ages? Because when you get a rejection on the monthly, to come on the weekly and get a very straight line, it can take you like 4 to 5 weeks, because if each candle is like a week. Each candle is like 1 week. So what do you see here? What you see here is we have a high, a low, a high. So if we are to use the weekly, the monthly storyline, and the weekly, if you use the monthly rejection and the weekly storyline, that means we shall wait for this low here to be taken out by a candle, and then wait for a retracement before we can take price down. Sometimes it can happen, sometimes it might not, because with the weekly you will only get one candle to cross there. So that means we shall wait for this week to end, and today is just Tuesday, so we shall wait for this week to end. We wait for another week and pray that it closes below here, and then we wait for a retest. That is another week, and then we start going down. That is almost 3 weeks that we shall be waiting to enter one trade. That is good, and it is the most effective way that I would recommend. However, that needs when you have enough capital. When you have enough capital, it is always going to be easy to enter such trades. Why? Because when you have enough capital, you can take 3 weeks to enter one trade, and then when you get that trade, you can enter very huge lot size, let's say 10, 20, or even 50 lot size. That means you're going to wait for long, but it's going to be worth the wait, because 50 lot size, even in 100 pips movement, that is $50,000. That is a lot of money. 100 pips moves $50,000. That is a lot of money. If you wait for 2-3 months, it is okay. You can wait. But now, if you have small accounts, I recommend that you use the weekly rejection and then the daily bearish storyline. Okay, so now that out of the way, let's come to the weekly time frame. Now the monthly has told us we are going down. However, what do you see on the weekly? The weekly is telling us that we are going up. You see this candle? It is telling us we are going up. However, we had 2 previous weeks rejection. There is this rejection, there is this rejection here in the previous weeks. You see, guys, and where were they rejecting? They were rejecting this area here, this weekly support. Let me put the line chart. You see, this weekly resistance here. That is where these 2 weeks were rejecting, and this one is showing us that we are going up. So what do? Should we wait for this week to close? No. Why? Because someone will say, oh, you told us the weekly has to be rejecting and the rejection has to close, and now you're telling us no. Why we don't wait for this weekly to close? It's because we have 2 rejections here already. We have 2 rejections, so we shall just use the last one. The last one. This rejection is the one we are going to use, the last one. So now, what does the last one tell us? The last rejection is telling us that when we drop down to we have a rejection here, so we're going to drop down to the daily. Guys, I hope you're following. I don't know if I can. Okay, let me get something here like a text and see if I can. I don't know how to use this thing. Anyway, let me just proceed because I don't know how to use it. But let me just explain to you the steps. First, identify what is the order flow on the monthly. That is if you're going to trade the long term, monthly plus. But if you're not going to trade the long term, identify the order flow on the weekly. Is there a rejection of a previous weekly support or resistance? For this case, we are talking about resistance. Is there a rejection of a previous weekly resistance? Yes. Where is it? It is here. This red candle here. If you see the wick, it is rejecting up here. Good. Now we go to the daily to look for a bearish storyline, strictly bearish storyline. Why? Because we are at a place of resistance. It is forming a double top on the monthly and on the weekly, and then there is a rejection on that support. So we are only looking for sales. That's why we look for a bearish storyline on the daily. So we go to the daily to look for a bearish storyline. So what do you see on the daily here? Daily, you see this is a high, this is a low, this is a mini high, this is a low, and this is a high. And you see this high is looking like forming a head and shoulder. This is a shoulder, this is a head, and this is like coming to make another shoulder. You see, guys? So in regards to our storyline, we open here. You see, this is a high, this is a low, this is a mini high, this is a low, and this is a high, which forms a head, and then we form a QM. So now we are coming to retest, and we remember we enter on the QM retest. It is on this retest or on this retest, but we shall prefer the retest up here because this one makes a perfect shoulder. And you see what price is doing? It is going up. So let's just pray that by the end of today or tomorrow, price will have reached here. As long as it reaches this area, guys, it is going down. It is going down. So now what do we do here? Come to the line chart and see a QM. A QM is something like where can I get? Okay, this one here. A QM is something like we go up, we come down here, we go up again. Now we come and take out this low here to signify that we have changed the trend. Take out this low here. We can either take out up to here and then we go back, or we can take out up to around here and then we go back. When we go back, we are testing this shoulder here and then we power down. So now when we are going back, we don't go back and then take out this high. We can go back and level to this high to form a double top, but we cannot go back and take this high. When we take out this high, we have changed the trend. We are now in an uptrend. So we come, we go like this, come, go, and then take out this low or any low in between there. In this case, we took out this one, take out this one. We can either come and take out this one, it is fine. Then we go back to this shoulder, it is fine. We can take out this one and then we go back up to this head to make a double top. It is also okay, and then we shall power down. We can go back and test this breaker block around here. It is okay, and then we go. But in our case, we have passed the breaker block. That means it is either we are testing here or we are testing here. But what is the preferred mode we would want? To test here. That is the preferred one that we would want. However, price will do whatever it wants to do. So we shall just react only to what price is doing. So now, when we have reached here, it's now when we enter and then power down. However, before we reach there, we don't. Price cannot come and do like this. That one we shall not want it. We shall now, if price does this, something like this, we shall wait and see that price comes. This one, how do I hit it? If it does something like that, we shall want this price to come from here now, reach here, make another low, another high, and then take out that high. And then on the retracement, that is now when we shall enter and pour down. I hope you get it. We shall, if price takes out this high, then you have changed the trend. So what we shall want is price to come up, make another low, then go up, take out this low on the retracement. That is when we enter and then we pour down. I hope you have understood that. If you have not understood, it is okay. Don't worry. Just go through the video again. Just slow it down. Go through the video and then you'll get my point. So now this one is making a small shoulder here, but we would want it to come up here on this shoulder here to make a good hand and shoulder before we can shoot it down. And we hope it is going to reach there. Okay, so now after that, knowing that we are just waiting for a shoulder for us to sell, you can come to the 4 hour. This is my preferred entry time frame. You can come to the 4 hour. What do you see on the 4 hour? On the 4 hour, you already have a head and shoulder. You have this head here, there is a shoulder here, there is another shoulder here, and there is another retest on this shoulder. So now the 4 hour is already telling you that you can enter for sales. The 4 hour is already confirming entry for sales. However, I'm still skeptical about this. Why am I skeptical about this? Because the daily is still going up, even the weekly is still going up, and this 4 hour is still also having an upwards candle. So if this candle closes above this high here, then I want to be selling. I'm going to be waiting for price to reach up to around this level here, and then I would sell. However, if you look up, the only fair value gap that you can see around is we have here a small one that is too small. The significant one is up here. This is the one that we have. So that means we have a supply zone here. So we would want at least price to come and reach around this area here. Let me show you. We'd want this price to come and reach around this area here. What is the fair value gap? It is here. Around this area here. And then we can sell it down. That is our preferred model that we would want on the 4 hour. However, we don't know what price is thinking or what price wants to do. So we shall just follow closely, but just know this is a sell and it is a long-term sell. So we shall just follow closely to see what price wants to do, and then we shall act according to what price is telling us. But you can see a shoulder here. If it shows us signs of sales on the 1 hour, maybe we can enter, but I don't see any signs of sales even on the 1 hour. So I still believe good, there is a supply zone here. If you can see, I still believe that price wants to take out these inducements here, that the supply and demand, people call them inducements. These inducements here take all the liquidity up, and then we sell from the supply zone up. There is a supply zone here, this candle here, if you can see it, this indecision candle there. I still believe that price wants to come to there, because if you can look at this, there is a huge supply zone here, a fair value gap here, and there's a supply zone there. So I believe price wants to come to this area and sell from this area. That is what I see, or what I think price wants to do, because it is the only significant supply zone we have. All areas here have been mitigated by price. It is only the area that is meant to be filled so that we can sell, and I'm hoping that GBPUSD is coming up to around this area and then sell from that area. That is what I'm hoping. Areas up here all have been mitigated. We only have one area remaining, so there is no we are selling unless we reach to this area. If we reach this area, we are coming down. Okay guys, so I think that is all. So we shall be selling from that area. For the supply and demand people and fair value gaps, so they would enter here a sell position. Oh, no, it is always down here. And then put stop losses above here. I would put it above this area, which is around 33 pips, and then target down. Guys, GBPUSD is going to be a very beautiful sell, a beautiful sell. Just keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. I think I'm going to be entering using this model here. Be entering using this model. You see this candle? It has closed above. It has surpassed this area here. So I'm thinking it's going to close above, and then it will come up there. So what I'm going to do, I want my stop loss to be around 35 pips, and then I end at around here, just in case this in price wants to come and take out this to make a double top. I think it will be 40 pips. Yeah, but I'm not going to set a sell limit. I'm just going to wait for price to come and reach in that area, and then I'll be looking to sell. I just want okay, so that is all guys. In case of anything, reach out in the comment section. I'll be doing more videos like this, but for now, that is all. Subscribe to the channel and also like the video if you have learned something from it. Don't forget to share and also comment. Subscribe to the channel guys. That is all for today. Bye.